Hello everyone, today we'll talk about the problem, the number of beautiful subsets. We're given a set of integers, we're given some forbidden number k. We want to make sure when we create our subsets that in none of those subsets there exists a pair of numbers with difference equal to k. And we want to count all the possible subsets that we can create that do not violate this rule. So this is another problem in a series of similar problems that can be solved by just enumerating over all the subsets. So intentionally the code here is very similar to the code to yesterday's problem and the problem 2 days ago. So essentially we'll just have to create our current subset, get a recursive function that generates all those subsets by deciding whether or not to add the next number and recursing on all the remaining numbers. Here our result is just an integer where we count how many good subsets are okay. So we just increment it when we run out of numbers because that means that we have created some correct subset. We have to write non-local here in order to be able to modify this value. And now the general strategy is the same as always. So we take one of the numbers and after all return it back to the list nums. We will of course now try to add either take this number or not take this number and generate all the possible subsets after that. Now, to take this number, we first have to make sure that for all the previous numbers, we do not create a bad pair. So we just do that because we have this currently created subset here in the value car. So we just look at everything that we have already taken, we look at the absolute value of the difference, and if that value is bad, so it's equal to k, we cannot take our number. And in Python we can write for else, because then this else clause will only execute if we never break out of this loop, which is exactly what we want. And so if we never break out of this loop, so we do not create already a bad subset by adding the value v, we can try to add the value v, we of course have to then remove it from the current subset, and in between we recurse on all the other numbers. And here is the other case where we do not take the value v, and we also just recurse on all the other numbers. So, this is a very standard situation. We have to make a decision to take it, revert that decision. We look at the number, then we have to give that number back. And of course, we recurse here. We have two options, either we take the number or not, and we recurse for all of them. So this is a very standard situation. And now if we run our function, we get in res the number of good subsets. And there's also another problem. I don't think that, well, this is written here, non-empty beautiful subsets. Well, the empty set is always a beautiful subset, so we always count one beautiful subset too much. So you just have to subtract one from the result, and that's it.